Hello students, today in this video we are going to discuss the first chapter of business studies of class 11, business, trade and commerce. Today in this video we will discuss the comparison of business, profession and employment. Basically these are three economic activities that are being conducted by different different individuals to earn their livings. If we talk about business, we have already discussed what business is. Business is basically an economic activity where an individual is engaged in purchase and sale of goods and services with an aim to earn living. Now when you talk about profession is also an economic activity where an individual involved himself in any of the profession to earn his living, like he may opt for teaching, he may opt for the medical services, he may opt for lawyer or any kind of profession. Employment. Now when you talk about employment is also an economic activity where an individual is going to work under someone and in return he is going to get wages or salaries. So that's what we call employment. Now here we are going to make the comparison of business, profession and employment. If you talk about mode of establishment, in case of business, entrepreneurship decision and other legal formalities if necessary. Now if you talk about business, how business can be established, if any individual has a thought to start any kind of economic activity or we could say business, then he has to take a decision, he has to invest the money over there, and if any kind of legal formality is being required to start that particular business, so he has to do so for the establishment of business. In case of profession, you have to be the member of the professional body and you must have the certificate of practice. Like if we talk about lawyers in our country, if you want to do a profession of a lawyer, then you must be a member of bar council. In India, to practice as lawyer, you need to be the part of bar council. So you must have the membership of that. Then you must have the certificate of practice too. Like for example, if you want to do your profession as a doctor, then you must have a certificate of practice, means you must have a license to do practice as a doctor from the medical association. So mode of establishment is what? You need to be the member of the association that is related to that particular profession. Second, you must have the certificate of practice as well. Now if we talk about employment, in case of employment, you need the appointment letter and the service agreement. Now if you want to do the third economic activity, that is employment, if you want to work under someone, then you must have an appointment letter. Clear? Like for example, if you want to teach in any of the school, any of the subject, clear, you want to earn your bread and butter from there by getting job, so you must have an appointment letter from that particular institution, then only you can work over there. And whenever you will be appointed, you will be filling a service agreement with the institution, then only you will be called to the employee of that particular institution if you fill that employment contract over there. So this is what is the mode of employment of business, profession and employment. Second, if we talk about nature of work, yes, in case of business, provision of goods and services to the public. Now whenever we talk about business, the nature of work over here is what? Here the manufacturing of goods or the production of goods will take place and the same is going to be sold out to the public or to the consumer for consumption, or the services will be provided for the consumption. So this is what the nature of work in case of business. So here the provision of goods and services to the public is there. In case of profession, you are going to provide services or basically rendering of personalized expert services. Like if we visit to a doctor, because we are ill and we want treatment against that illness. So at that moment of time, that particular doctor is going to provide you the expert service over there or the personalized service over there clear, and he is going to diagnose your disease, and accordingly he is going to prescribe the medicines for the same, and he is going to cure you for your illness. So personalized expert services will be provided in case of profession. When you talk about employment, here you are going to perform your duties as per the service agreement, as per your job contract. So whatever job that has been entrusted to you by your employer, you are going to work according to the instructions or as per the job service contract or rules of regulation, or you could say the rule and regulation of the employer. So this is what is the nature of work. Third point, if we talk about qualification, in case of business, if you have the qualification, or if you have you are a educated person or you are a literate person, then it will be good. Else, if you are not having any education, even then you can start with the business. So you can say on a nutshell that there is no minimum qualification that is being required to go for business. Even an illiterate person can start business, and you have seen in your surroundings also, you uh, have the examples of many individuals who are illiterate but they are good businessmen. So for doing business activity, there is no such restriction of qualification. Even a illiterate person can start business, but just the thing that is being required is what? The courage to do that particular business. Then in case of profession, yes, if you want to opt for any particular profession, then the minimum qualification that is being required to go for that profession is utmost need. Like for example, if you want to practice as a doctor, the minimum qualification that is being required, you must be MBBS or any other medical degree, you must have like BDS and all. So expertise and training in a specific field is must. In case of employment, if you want to get employment in any of the institution, clear, then whatever job you are opting for, so for that particular job, whatever minimum qualification that is being required, you must possess that qualification, as well as if minimum training is being required or minimum experience is being required for that particular job, you must possess that. So qualification is being required in case of profession as well as in case of employment. Now when you talk about fourth point, reward or return, in case of business, clear, and as we know, basically business is being done to earn profit. So the ultimate aim of doing business is what? Earning profit. So you can say in a nutshell, the reward that you are going to earn out of business is profit. In case of profession, if we talk about profession, in case of profession, the professional or the individual, clear, or the expert is going to ask for his or her professional fees. Like if you visit to a doctor, he is going to ask for the fees. If you visit to a lawyer, then he is going to ask for the fees. So you have to pay a professional fees, clear, to that particular professional. In case of employment, if you talk about return or reward, here you are going to get wages or salaries. If you are working as a worker over there, you will ask for wages, and if you are working as a white collar job over there, then you are going to ask for the salaries. So here the reward will be salary or wages. So if we talk about reward, in case of business, profit will be the reward. In case of professional or profession, professional fees will be there, or in case of employment, salary or wages will be the reward. Now if we talk about the fifth point, capital investment, as we know, for starting any kind of business activity, first we have to invest money over there. So being the owner of that business, we need to invest capital, and this capital requirement is totally related to the size and nature of the business. If you will start with a small business, then you require of less capital. If you comparatively, if you are going for a larger business, then more capital is being required for the same. So it depends, means the capital investment size will depend upon the size and nature of the business. Now when you talk about profession, in case of profession, you could say little investment is being required, clear, whatever profession you are opting, to start with that particular profession also, a little amount of investment is being required for the establishment, clear, like of your office, of your clinic, clear, of your, you could say, room. So whatever requirement, small requirement basically is being required for doing your profession as compared to the business, I'm saying. Then in case of employment, because you are working under someone, clear, that individual has already done his or her investment. So to be in employment, basically no investment is being required. Like for example, if I'm working as a teacher in any of the institute, then I need no capital to start with the job, clear, or I don't have to invest any capital to start with the job. Just the thing that is being required is what? My qualification, my experience, and appointment letter, clear, and my contract agreement, clear. So if I have that, I can start with my employment. So no capital is being required to start with the employment. So this is what about capital investment. Now if we talk about the sixth point, that is risk. As we have already studied about business, one of the characteristic of business is the element of risk. Means the possibility of profit as well as the possibility of loss is there in the business, or you could say inadequate profit, basically inadequate profit as well as the possibility of loss is there, always there in case of business. So you can say risk factor is there always in your business, because as we know that in business your future is totally uncertain. You don't know whether your business is going to earn adequate profit to meet out your expenses or not. So you can say risk is always there, because profit fluctuations are always there. Sometimes you may earn more profit, sometimes you have to, could say, feel good with less profit also, and sometimes it may also happen that your business may suffer loss. So risk factor is always there in case of your business. Now when you talk about your profession, clear, risk factor is there somehow. Like if you will not practice your profession in a smooth manner, or in a good manner, then it may happen. Like for example, if I'll take the example of a doctor, if you could say the patients or the public is not satisfied with the treatment of that particular individual or with the treatment of that particular doctor, then they will stop visiting to that particular doctor. So if you are not perfect in your profession, then risk will arise. And if you are perfect in your profession and you're giving your utmost sincerity to your profession, then you will not find any risk in your profession. So somehow you can say a little amount of risk is there in case of your profession, clear. But if someone will visit you, of obvious that individual is going to pay fees to you, so somehow risk is there. Then if you talk about employment, in case of employment, clear, if you are working hard as per your job agreements, then definitely you are going to get your wages and salary on regular basis. So you can say no risk, clear. But you have to be very sincere about your job conditions, rules and regulations, and whatever jobs requirement. If you fulfill that, then there will be no risk. You are going to get your fixed wages or salaries that is being there in your contract agreement. So in case of risk, you could say in case of business you have more risk, clear. In case of profession you will have somehow risk, and in case of your employment there will be no risk. If we talk about the seventh point, transfer of interest, in case of business, transfer of interest with some formalities is possible. Like for example, if father is running any business and now he wants that his business should continue by his son, with legal kind of formalities or without any legal formalities, he can transfer his interest to his son or to her to his daughter. So that can be done in case of your business, like you can transfer your interest to your successors. In case of profession, it's not possible, clear. A doctor cannot claim that after him or her, clear, his son or daughter is going to be the doctor of this clinic. No, it's not possible, because his son or daughter has to pursue, first they have to pursue that qualification that is being required to continue with that particular profession. If they possess that, clear, then you can share your work burden with them, but you cannot transfer your particular interest with them. Because if, for example, a doctor is expert in one kind of disease, clear, he cannot claim that his son or his daughter is also expert in that particular field, clear. So in profession, transfer of interest is not possible from one particular expert to the another person. In case of employment also, transfer of interest is not possible, because if I am getting the employment agreement or job offer, so it will be for me, not for any other person. So job, in case of job or in case of employment, transfer of interest is not possible. If I am getting the appointment letter, so it's for me only, not for my any other relative. So transfer of interest is not possible in case of employment too. Now if we talk about the last point, code of conduct, clear. If you are doing any business, so no such code of conduct has been established so far for business, clear. So you can do your business as per your own choice, you can form your own rules and regulations, your own code of conduct, clear, but no such code of conducts are being there from the authorities. Code of conduct means how you are going to behave when you are in that particular business. So it's you who is going to decide your own code of conduct in case of business. Then when you talk about profession, yes, in case of profession, as I told you that you need to be the part of that professional association, and this professional association is going to form or is going to formulate code of conduct for that particular profession. Like if you talk about your medical practices of medical profession, clear, in India you must be the part of the medical association, and whatever code of conduct that are being laid down by this medical association, being the medical practitioner, you need or professional, you need to follow this code of conduct that has been laid down by your association. Then when you talk about employment, in case of employment, clear, how you are going to behave, what should be your code of conduct, that will be decided by the employer of yours, or you could say the norms that has been laid down by your employer, you have to follow them strictly, because these norms of behavior are acting as a guideline for you to act in that particular employment. So in case of code of conduct, you can say in business there are no such code of conduct. In profession, professional associations are going to lay down the code of conduct, and in case of employment, the employer is going to tell you, or the job agreement is going to tell you the code of conduct, how you are going to behave in that particular employment. So these are the different points of comparison between your three different economic activities: business, profession and employment. Hope you will like this video. Thank you.